Okay, in this video, we have all the Microraptors, 6 of them, all connected through this PowerWorks PD8. So it's an 8-pole bridge, and they all go to this Corad 10 amp power supply, 30 volt 10 amps. And this is, of course, a very heavy Corad. It's a linear power supply, and does in fact provide quite a bit of current. We've set the current limit to 6 amps. So we're seeing that with all the Microraptors basically in the connected mode. We'll explain that in a second. But the current draw is 1.25 amps at 6 volts. Each, you can see that each Microraptor has the blinking blue LED, which means that it's connected to the frontline server. So here we have the frontline server, Java server, which we executed, and it made a connection to each one of the Microraptors, and we see the blinking blue LED. If a connection wasn't made, then the LED would be red. Now here I'm showing the database. So this is using this tool called MySQL Workbench, and this is the database of all of our robots, and each robot has a unique MAC address, which is 64 bits, and this is the IP address, and of course the port and description, type of motor, whether RPM measurement is enabled or not, and a description, as you can see. And this is our database, quite extensive. We have a lot of robots, and this is each robot, so you can see how many robots we have. Now, the IP address of each Microraptor has been changed by adding 100. So like this one will be 100.125, so 192.168.100.125. Same here, so that we've added 100. This moves all the Microraptors into a domain within the 100 range and separates it from all the other robots which are occupying, the IP addresses below 100. So we've been very successful. We also have the WebSocket server running, and we will be able to then send commands to each one of these. So each Microraptor will be put on a brick with this sort of like saran wrap, and elevated so that we can start them, going forward, reverse, sideways, etc., tanking. And so you have a brick for each one of these. We'll put them on a brick, and the idea is that through the Java application talking to the WebSocket server, we'll be able to communicate to each one of these and start them all up, going forward, then reverse, then tank in place. Once we've done that, we'll take them out to the field, put them on the floor, the tiled floor, and let them run. So we have more of these Microraptors that were built in Las Vegas lab, and we can add to the mix, but I think 6 is a good number. And this is showing quite a bit of effort, R&D on the part of Ionotronics, to get a whole bunch of these running and to prove out the architecture and performance of the networked robots platform. Okay? One Java application will be able to manipulate all 6 of these. And of course, it can be turned into quite a sophisticated application where we're using all the ultrasonic sensors so that each individual Microraptor would not collide with anything while it moves around. And then, of course, we've got the all-important magnetometer over here, and then we'll be able to align these guys with a North Pole. And we got a lot of work ahead of us, but we have the hardware. Now it's all software. So that concludes our presentation. Well, let's get going.